Hello and welcome to Backyard Food Guide. What I'd like to do today is to talk about growing lettuce in the summer and potentially in containers as well. So what I have here is a beautiful Buttercrunch lettuce. This is a Bibb-type lettuce that is ideal for home gardeners because it doesn't bolt as easily as some of the other lettuce varieties. And it tastes absolutely delicious. So just like its name, it does have a buttery, velvety texture. And while it may not be as crunchy as something like romaine, the sweetness to this lettuce is nicer than romaine as well. So in terms of growing conditions, this is an ideal lettuce for home gardeners. What I have here is something that I've started from seed, and it's in a smaller pot. What I plan to do is to put it into a much larger pot. And so the idea behind having it in pots is that it allows you to move it around in your garden so that you can find the ideal place for it. And I'll talk about conditions in a few minutes. So in terms of pots, I think at minimum a 1-gallon pot, but I think ideally a 3 and even 5-gallon pot would be better for this type of lettuce. So lettuce tends to have very shallow roots, so you'll need to keep it consistently moist, especially in the summer. Another great spot for this lettuce is that it is so pretty, you can even put it into your flower beds in your front yard as well. So again, this lettuce is very ideal because you don't have to, unlike something like iceberg lettuce, you don't necessarily have to cut off the entire thing. You can actually just clip off the outer leaves when you're ready to have some in your salad. So this is also a great lettuce for succession sowing, so that if you plant some every week or every couple of weeks, you should have a continuous supply of lettuce throughout the summer. So I think the ideal would be the 3-gallon pots, and the maturity time for this lettuce is 55 to 60 days. What's interesting about lettuce is that it prefers sun, but it also would not tolerate heat very well. So that's why springtime is often great for lettuce, because what you have is more sunlight during the day, but temperatures that aren't too high. However, in the summer, it's can be done in the shade. So one idea is that if you have a spot that gets morning sun but is mostly shaded in the afternoon, then summertime would work, because then the lettuce is getting the sunlight that it requires without too much of the heat. What you can also do is to plant lettuce into your garden beds with taller plants that would provide it some shade. So something like tomatoes, for example, would work as well. So what you want to do is to make sure that you can prevent bolting, and that is what changes the flavor of the lettuce. It makes it more bitter and just not as tasty. So frequent harvesting of the outer leaves could help with that as well, because it keeps the plant smaller and is less likely to bolt. What you want to do is to, in the summer, just keep an eye on the temperature and where your containers are located. Another option is to simply grow lettuce in the spring and late summer into the fall when temperatures aren't as hot. However, for this year, I think I'm going to give summer lettuce a try by using those techniques of using morning sun, afternoon shade, maybe along a fence or something like that. And then also making sure that there's consistent moisture. Often that's when lettuce might bolt if the conditions aren't ideal. Lettuce does not require a great deal of fertilizer, but fertilizing once or twice throughout the plant's life could be good, especially in container conditions. And I would use a good quality potting soil in the containers. So hopefully you have some luck with your lettuce this summer, and I'll perhaps create a follow-up video to show the kind of harvest that we've managed to achieve over the summer. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.